going to carry on our series then about talking about the games we played in Essen 3 months ago. So I haven't remembered that really well.
Nearly 4 months now.
Oh, you're making a joke about how long this has felt as an experience. That's sad. Well, speaking of feeling long,
Never mind.
can you remember the third game we played?
Yeah, because I looked at your screen.
Did you? What was the third game we played?
Dragon Castle.
Aha. Do you want to explain it?
Well, I can tell you that it was the worst demo we had, I think.
Ooh, as in like the worst demoer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I didn't know how to play the game. Or maybe he knew how to play the game, but didn't actually tell us how to play the game.
Allora. Although it must be really, really hard. Allora, he was Italian, and allora means like well. He said that quite a lot. But
yeah, not
it must be hard
but...
to teach a game in a different language. Like, it's not an English convention, is it?
No, I speak some German.
He was Italian.
Yeah, well, that wasn't an Italian convention.
True. But it was an Italian company. Do you want to explain about the game?
Okay.
Just ragging on this poor
No,
demo.
I know it's not his fault. It just.
No, but it's worth mentioning because we did.
Very, like, I wouldn't know how to play it now. We'd have to read the rules a lot.
How many games that we played in Essen, right? Would you know how to play now?
No, but I think none. But I think maybe Dream Home. I mean, let me finish what I'm saying.
I'm not interrupting you.
You are. I think. Ooh, it has been quickly. What was I going to say?
About the rules.
Yeah.
And remembering how to play.
I think there was 2 games that we played in Essen where we didn't really play it properly.
Oh.
And that was one of them. So that obviously wasn't great. Fall in Love.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
But even still, because I think I can't remember what we didn't do. We did something wrong, didn't we? We had to start again, and then we started again, and blah blah. But
Twice.
even still, I'm not telling what's better, whether or not well I like it or not.
So you can do whatever you want. This isn't a scripted thing.
Well, yours is
I'm
scripted.
not reading on the script. I'm really glad you didn't press delete there. That's a good opinion.
So it's based on Mahjong tiles. Yeah, how do you say it?
Mahjong.
Mahjong.
I'll
say Mahjong. Tiles.
Probably still wrong, however we're saying it.
And you have to build them up into little castle type things, matching the patterns. That's all I can remember.
Oh, okay then. So I mean, I've ragged on you for talking about the demo, but the first thing I said, it was bit of a disaster demo. We played with a Dutch woman and a guy who actually comes from near Essen.
Yeah.
Who you've still got on Instagram.
Sean.
Not the same Sean that we mentioned before.
May have made that up.
Oh, that's so
No,
embarrassing.
it is Sean.
God.
But I don't know if you pronounce it Sean in German or not.
Oh, I don't know.
It could be seen.
I mean, we haven't pronounced Mahjong right.
But yeah, I did.
Okay.
In my words.
So we ended up playing the game wrong twice because of rules that we got wrong, and I think it says something like what a visual game it was. That even though you were playing it wrong, because the game was really really nice, and the people we were playing with were good, that we kind of wanted to give it another go.
Yeah.
Even though we got it wrong.
That's what I was going to say, but then I stopped myself because I thought we were talking about how to play the game.
Okay.
What our opinions
So
were.
it takes inspiration from the Mahjong, like technically how the tiles look, but more from the solitaire game that you play on the computer. We've got like, the stack of tiles, and you have to remove matching
I
tiles.
love that game.
Well, there you go. That's why it's a good idea to take it from that. It is super cool looking. Like, as in you walk past the table that someone's playing that, and you double check because these aren't like little cardboard chits. They're big, thick, chunky, plastic, carved Mahjong tiles.
Hence why we don't own it.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, if they had been
Not going in a suitcase.
crappy components, then yeah. And they've got really clearly carved symbols as well, despite us like not getting a couple of the dragons mixed up. It has a
no
really
us in that. I didn't get any dragons mixed.
fair enough. Well, I think the Dutch woman did. So it has,
I'm not the Dutch
but she
woman.
did win. So has a really really classical feel. I think in that, as in like a modern classic, in that you can do like one of several different things on your turn. So you can like take either 2 tiles from the top level, or like gain a roof and 1 tile to turn one of your castles into a temple or something, or like placing your tile, like how you place your tile. If you connect up like multiple levels, you score them and flip them, and like you want to try and connect like bigger parts together. You're right.
I think I should be smiling on camera.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Don't be who you are. I think it's one of those really neat games that you can, a bit like Ticket to Ride or Carcassonne, where you could just concentrate on what you were doing and ignore everyone else. Or I could be like, ooh, Nicola's collecting the season tiles, so I need to make sure when I take tiles, I don't open those up to her and whatever else. And I like that any game you can play with that kind of option.
You mean you like being a dick?
I like the option of being a dick. I don't like games that force you to be, and I don't like games that don't. I don't not like games that don't let you, but I prefer it to be an option.
Okay.
Because you don't have to do it.
I would.
Well, there you go. So you weren't saying your judgment. And there's a whole like slew of special powers and special scoring things that we didn't get to play with because it was a demo.
I didn't know what we were doing.
Well, we didn't know what we were doing as well.
Yeah.
But that would really, really mix up the game. Like it wouldn't be the same puzzle every time. And as well, there's in the back of the book, there's different ways for the tiles to be laid out, like at the start of the game, which would really change how you drew the tiles. Because like we played with like the classical setup,
Yeah, yeah.
but you can have all like on the thing on the computer. I'm sorry, like on the thing on the computer, where it's always different. So.
Well, like Minesweeper.
Well, Minesweeper is always different in where the mines are, but the layout is always the same. I mean,
Oh, you mean on my own?
on my own, yeah. The game isn't called Mine Castle. Not that the game is called Dragon, I suppose.
The game's not called My Own Castle either.
That's what I meant.
Right.
Yeah. So, where did Dragon Castle fall? Because with the last two games, Dream Home and Pharaoh's Temple, Labyrinth Pharaoh, I'm never going to remember the name of that game. Labyrinth Pharaohs, like you were been kind of like so on them.
Yeah.
What about Dragon Castle?
Yeah, I like that one.
Would you say? I mean, what was it? It wasn't your favourite game that we played, I don't think. But would you say it was?
Well, I forgot what my favourite game was.
We'll get to it and you'll remember. But what was it? One of your favourites?
Yeah, it was. Uh-huh.
I would have estimated it was your third favourite game we played.
Oh, hang on, my favourite game was one I bought, wasn't it?
No, I would have said that was your second favourite.
Oh, I'm curious now.
Well, anyway,
And no spoilers.
that's
okay.
no spoilers. God, as if
No,
anyone
but I
would
want to
care.
buy it now.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
and that's quite telling because I mean, I think compared to a normal human being, you own a lot of board games.
I am a normal human being.
Yeah, you know that's what I mean though. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying you're not,
Right.
but I'm saying like
Compared to other normal human beings is what you're trying
other
to say.
not. Yes, that's
Right,
correct
okay.
because you own Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
With an expansion or so.
Yeah.
Ticket
Ticket to Ride the card game.
to Ride the card game. God, trains. Those are them. Jaipur, Lost Cities, and a game that's coming up later on the Essen list.
And Quirkle Cubes.
And Quirkle Cubes. So you buying a game is one thing you're happier, but I bought that for you.
And it's at your house as well.
Well, not only because you said we would never play it two-player because you don't like how I play it.
I can't remember that one.
It's the one where you push the
Oh,
anyway.
you cheat, yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Digressing, yeah.
So the fact that you wanted to buy this game.
That was on camera.
Okay. So the fact that you want to buy this game is quite
Yeah.
a bold thing. Like I keep checking for when it's out. I think it's meant to be out in March because I was like, oh, is that game that you'd want to play two-player? Because I was speaking to Max about this today and saying that I think my favourite sort of game is rapidly becoming a game that you can play with up to 4 people, but also can be boiled down to a good two-player experience rather than just a two-player game.
Yeah.
So, you know, Seven Wonders, despite what people say about the two-player, Burgundy. I don't know if Ticket to Ride falls there for me though.
I've not played that in ages.
I know.
You should play that more.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really excited to play Dragon Castle again, and I think it's a game that people are going to really enjoy.
Remember the other game that I've got?
Good. So I think that this is one of these games that is a bit more complex than like Dream Home that we mentioned in the last video.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't hesitate to teach my parents Dream Home.
Yeah, I think that's like now we're talking about Dream Home, I can talk about it again. I think that's why I'm like it's fine because I feel like I've done it now.
Ah, you feel like
Which
you
is-
solved the puzzle.
Yeah, which is maybe not fair because I've not played it very often. But,
Yeah. No, I know what you mean because you can. I feel that way about like original Seven Wonders. Do you know what I mean? I need the expansion. Maybe the expansions would change that for you,
I
but
did expansion on that.
there's 2. There's like
Alright.
Friends and Family, but and planning rooms. But yeah, I would say Dragon Castle was my second favourite game of the convention. No, first favourite game of the convention, but second favourite game of the holiday.
Because one you play in the hotel was better.
Well, no, right, not better, but like I
Oh,
prefer.
the one that you watched in the hotel was better.
No, we're not going to do that one.
Oh.
But yeah, I think that Dragon Castle could be a Spiel des Jahres nominee because I think you probably could play it with a family. I don't think it's like as complex as like a Kenner Spiel. I'd be really disappointed if that didn't get nominated. Although I have heard some people say criticisms because you have to drop like if you build like a little section.
Well, I don't know because I don't own the game.
Yeah, but you remember, you build your tiles,
Yeah.
and then if you've got to like drop a tile in the middle and then flip it, it can like push everything apart and that sort of stuff.
Just use thinner hands.
Did you say use thinner hands?
Yeah.
So if I get big fat sausage fingers, I'm gonna have to be like Nicola.
Yeah, it's good for kids.
Cool. We will finish there.